Welcome to My The Asshole Podcast. Let's get into it. Today's a beautiful Tuesday episode, and I'm excited because it's another episode of My The Asshole Podcast. Beautimus, absolutely beautimus. We got an interesting thread for you guys today. I haven't done this thread in so long. I think the last time I did this thread was like episode 20 or something. And that was forever ago. Because we're on episode like 2 something. I don't know what the fuck it is, but I know we're like episode 200 something. Excusez-moi. But this one is truckers. What are your best stories from years on the road? Alright, so let's see what them truckers been seeing on the road. Alright. At a truck stop, middle of the night, guy next to me starts talking to me. He's 50-ish, short, friendly, got a bushy mustache. After a moment or two, I notice that his mustache is actually his nose hairs, which are inches long and obviously combed into the desired mustache shape. It was both fascinating and repelling at the same time. That is crazy. How does this man breathe? If his nose hairs are so long that they get out to like the edges of his mouth. How do you breathe? He must breathe out of his mouth all the time. Because that's a lot of hair, bro, coming out of your nose. Homeboy was just like, dang, that's a cool mustache. He was like, yeah, it comes out of my nose. And I comb it out. And like, what the fuck? That's kind of crazy. I've never seen somebody like that, but I would ask them, hey, do you breathe out of your nose? Because I would be curious. My dad is a truck driver, and he likes to tell a story about a Keebler cookie driver who was getting teased on the CB once. He said that the other drivers kept asking him questions like, do elves really make cookies? And are you an elf? And how tall are you anyway? Dad says this truck driver let the good-natured ribbing go on for a while. And then he said in a deep voice, listen, I only drive this truck for the paycheck. I don't ask any questions. I just back the truck up to the tree and they fill it. Oh, that's funny. At least he played into it. You know what I mean? He didn't be a dick about it, you know? My father is a trucker, and I have a few stories of when I accompanied him. Probably the best would be the time that we were solicited by a lot lizard in Colorado. It was night, and we were parked at the truck stop and about to go to sleep. I was 15 at the time and had to go to the bathroom, so I told my dad, and he said, you know where the bathrooms are? I opened the door to go to the truck stop facilities, and there is a woman looking up at me. She asked if I was the guy she was talking to on the radio. I say no. She then smiles and asks if I want some company. Decision time. It had never crossed my mind that she was a prostitute. Oh shit. I thought she was just homeless and wanted a warm place to spend the night. I say, sure, you look like you could use some friendly company. Luckily, my dad notices this exchange and shoos her as one would a stray dog. Before she even began climbing into the cab, he still makes fun of me for almost inviting in a prostitute. Damn. I mean, at least your heart was in the right place and you were just a bit naive about it. You know, you're just like, hey, you look like you need some help, whatever. You know, but dad was just like, nah. That help is going to cost you a couple $100 if I'm being honest with you. Like, hey, yeah, like I ain't paying for that. Fuck out of here, girl. You know, go back to your pimp. Fuck. You know what I mean? Get the fuck out of here. That is crazy. Oh, that could have got you in some massive trouble, man. Or it could have got you in an STD or something. You never know. Because the little boy is naive, you know what I mean? She started touching on the penis. He's like, whoa, oh, this is amazing. This is what happens. Oh, shit. Let's see. My great uncle was a trucker in around San Francisco in the 40s, whose route often took him over huge hills, which the city is known. his truck wasn't all that powerful, so he usually had to stick it into a really low gear and crawl up the hills. One day, his little brother, my grandfather, was visiting him, and he was sitting in the passenger seat when my great uncle saw a friend coming up behind him. His friend had a better truck and was able to climb the hills faster, so he was going to be overtaking them soon. My great uncle had an idea for a prank and had my grandfather take the wheel, and while he jumped out of the cab when my uncle's friend passed them, my uncle was behind the truck pushing it up the hill. Oh, that's funny. So like while the truck is slowly climbing, he's pretending to push it in the back because his friend, and imagine seeing that though. Like, you're just in your truck and I don't know, you see this guy like pushing a semi truck up a hill and you're just like, wait, what the fuck? Yo, call him on the CBA, man. Like, what are you doing? That's funny. That's funny. I was at a truck stop in Ohio getting fuel as I'm standing there on a driver's side of MT truck watching the fuel gauge add up. This guy walks around the front of my truck and stops about 10 feet from me by my driver's side steer tire. I look over at him and he is standing there very still, silently and not blinking. Can I help you? And I said, oh, can I help you? I said. No response. What is wrong with you? Still no response. At this point, or at this time, my hand went to the knife that I had clipped onto my left pocket just in case. What the fuck is wrong with you? I yelled. He finally responds calmly in a melancholy tone with, oh, nothing. I just wanted to hear your voice. Then turns away slowly and walks away. I didn't sleep well that night. Bro, what? What? You wanted to hear my voice? That is concerning. For why? Why did you want to hear my voice? Why did you just stand there? Were you recording me? Was this something, where you were just like, I need to get a good look at all his facial features because you're trying to pin a crime on me or something? Like, that is a little creepy. What the fuck? I mean, I don't know what you would do in that situation aside from, yelling at him and hopefully he goes away. But just the fact that he was just like, no, I just wanted to hear your voice. Like, hell yeah. I wouldn't be able to sleep either because I know this man is coming to kill me. That's the beginnings of a serial killer movie. Hey, what the hell? All right, it's going to be a long one. My goodness. I was in a pretty bad car accident on my way to college. My grandparents drove me since my parents were working and I had way too much shit to take on a plane. We were driving on I-80 in Pennsylvania. I was asleep in the back seat, so I'm not exactly sure what happened. We think my grandmother had a minor stroke while driving. In any case, we swerved off the road, rolled over a few times, and smashed up the car and ourselves pretty good. Thankfully, no other cars were involved. I have always wanted to say thank you to one of the truckers who helped us that day. 3 guys from 3 different trucks ran over to assist. One guy gave my grandfather a handkerchief to staunch the bleeding on his face. Another sat next to my trapped grandmother and held her hand until help arrived. Another guy hung out close to me as I sat in the grass in a daze, staring at my fucked up knee. I remember that the two of us watched all of my earthly possessions as they rolled and scattered on the highway. Anyway, my grandparents and I went to the hospital and now we're all A-okay. The best thing those truckers did, those dudes picked up all my colored pencils from the road, all of them. And they were all scratched up and had road grit on them. But those guys took the time to give me back a part of my life. Unbelievable, guys. I will always have complete respect for them. Dang. That's crazy. They picked up every one of her pencils and every one of her things. That's super sweet. That's wholesome as shit, man. That's wholesome right there. That's a rare... Am I the asshole W right there, man? We don't have many of those, if I'm being honest with you. We don't have many W's. That was a W. That was wholesome. Damn. And that must have been horrific to be in a crash like that, especially with your grandparents. Damn. All right, my dad told me this story back in the 80s. One of his friends was in the Army on a semi carrying WMD. They were going like 15 over, and a rookie state patrolman pulls them over. Due to the nature of their load, they couldn't take chances, so about 10 guys jumped out with rifles and made the patrolman get out on the ground until they were able to verify he was really a state patrolman. Yo! God damn, that's scary as hell. Imagine, your MOS is just, you got to drive this truck, you got to take these weapons over to somewhere else, and you're just going through, and I don't know, these guys just pull up on you with some guns, and you're like, yo, hold up, man. Like this is my job. And they're like, yeah, get the fuck out, They're all patting you down, making sure, you ain't got nothing on you. And they're like trying to ID you and shit. And you're like, whoa, chill, man. Like, this is my job, bro. This is my job. Like, that would be scary as fuck. That's crazy. I always feel that popular films gave us guys a bad impression. Not all of us are heavy metal lovers in jagged jeans and rowdy looking. Years on the road has given us a lot of stories and a lot of experiences. Yeah, because, my job, I deal with a lot of truck drivers. And if I'm being honest with you, a lot of them are ordinary ass people. And if I'm being real with you, they're all just ordinary ass motherfuckers. Like, I deal with truck drivers all day, every day at my job, and literally, they're just all ordinary ass motherfuckers. Like, none of them you would be like, oh yeah, that guy is a gritty, loves metal and all that. Like, nah, like a lot of the guys there are either like Mexicans that don't speak any English, or the Mexican dudes that like EDM and rap music, or it's a white guy that just sticks to himself, if I'm being honest with you. That's mainly what a lot of the truck drivers are, like, that I deal with anyway. But in the majority of the truck drivers that deal with the company that I work for, that's what it is. It's Mexicans that don't speak any English, or, it's Mexican dudes that only listen to EDM and rap, or it's just white dudes. I think there's like one or two black dudes, but you hardly see them motherfuckers, if I'm being honest with you. I think they keep to themselves. They're like, nah, just load my shit and I'm going to just drive off. But hey, it is what it is. The best part is the interstate driving. Lots to see, and the ever-waving hands of kids in cars. I have a CB radio that I often use to amuse the children with for trips lasting more than a day. It's pretty much fun only if you have company. Gas stations and truck stops are a wonderful meeting point. Most of the time, I have no idea of the variety of things I would haul, just in vague terms like merchandising or household goods. Once I was traveling up north and came up behind a car that was going at a steady pace, but weaving in and out of the lanes. Me and my partner had a guess that the driver was going sleepy, and we tried our best to catch up along the car. We noticed the car had the CB antenna sticking up, and we were able to get the particular person on the CB, and we were able to jog awake the person and convince him to take a break. The driver was a doctor who was going upstate to attend to a call. Damn, my man's out here saving the lives. He was just like, hey, yo, brother. He was like, you look like you're falling asleep, man. You're weaving in and out of traffic. You good? You all right? Man, it would have ended up like that girl, and her grandparents. They would have just rolled off of the fucking highway and flipped over and all that kind of stuff. Like, no, we don't want that to happen. Man, truckers, they must deal with a lot on the road, man. It must be a lot of that where you're just kind of like wondering what the fuck people are doing, and you're just like, yo, is that person okay? Like, what the hell is going on, Because I'm sure they're so used to it to where they look at it like, I know what to look out for. I've seen it all. I've seen, people dozing off and people just getting road rage and all that kind of shit. Like, man. All right. I was driving north through the mountains of Colorado towards Pueblo, and it was my first time dealing with anything like the Rocky Mountains, so I was taking it nice and slow with my hazards on and in the right lane. This was in the spring, and there wasn't much snow on the ground aside from a light dusting. I remember passing another truck pulled to the shoulder on my way up, nothing out of the ordinary. However, as I was heading down the mountain, which can be scary as shit in 18-wheeler. Trust me, I saw the same truck I passed earlier fly by me in the left lane, now being passed on the left going downhill in the Rocky Mountains by another tractor trailer is crazy enough. But what really makes this story is this guy's trailer brakes were on fire. He was pulling a load, could tell because the trailer was sealed. If you know anything about trucks, you know that there's only so much braking you're supposed to do before they overheat and worst case catch fire. Whoa. This guy's truck looked like a fucking comet as he sped down the mountain at what I thought was surely to be a deadly pace. I grabbed the mic to the radio and called out to him, "Hey driver, your brakes are on fire." I mean literally on fire. This rough and weathered sounding voice comes back over the speaker on my radio and says, "Cool as a cucumber, I know." And he disappeared around the curve. I never saw any wrecked truck, emergency crews, or even mention of an accident over the radio. I did see a discarded fire extinguisher on the ground at the base of the mountain, though. Just one of many awesome stories. That's crazy. Homeboy knew what was going on. That's probably why he was barreling down the hill, because he knew he couldn't use his brakes. He was just like, "Oh, son of a bitch, here we go." And he's going down the hill and he's just like, "Oh, baby Jesus." And then one of those things where it's like they necessarily can't use their brakes in certain ways because of their load. And, you know, if they use their brakes in a certain way, the load might shift and fall over. And in some cases, the load can shift and then knock the trailer over. That's how unbalanced a lot of, you know, this shit can be sometimes, depending on what they're hauling. Because I know a lot of the truck drivers I talk to, they're like, yeah, whenever we're, you know, loading like merchandise, you know, that are going to go to the stores and stuff like that, a lot of times it's food and things like that. They're like, we don't have to worry about, you know, the load getting knocked off. But if it's anything like shelves or large containers or anything like that, they're like, yeah, your shit can shift to the point where it'll all shift to one side of the trailer and the trailer will kind of, you know what I mean? You're like, I'm like, oh shit. But homeboy was sitting there and he was, he said, I know my brakes are on fire. That must have been crazy. Yeah, you could tell he dealt with that before, though. Yeah, you could tell he's dealt with it before. He's like, I've been here one too many times, friend. I know what I'm doing. All right. During planning, I work 15-hour days in the tractor putting seed into the ground, traveling a neck-breaking 4.5 miles. So you can imagine, TDM starts to set in pretty quick. What always brightened my day were these two rowdy Australian shepherds that would appear randomly and trot along the side of my tractor for hours. Every once in a while, they would see a rabbit and bolt in its direction for miles, but always came back to run with my tractor. So is he talking about? Oh yeah, so they're dogs, yeah. Or because I'm thinking Australian shepherds, I'm thinking like Australian dudes that are like, you know, they're sheep herding and stuff. But maybe he's talking about dogs. Okay. At the end of the day, I would get out of the tractor and give those boys some of my supper. I would come back to the next morning to find them sleeping under my tractor, ready to start the day. Not the most exciting story, but I have some companionship on the lonely days spent in the tractor goes a long way. Yeah, Australian Shepherd is a breed of a dog. Okay, all right, cool. I didn't want to like, you know, call a Australian, you know, sheep herder guy, you know, a fucking dog. That would have been all bad. I could see the comments now. Oh, how dare you? No, I'm just kidding. Oh, hey, another wholesome one though, man. You know, another rare W around here. I like that. All right. I'm going to do two more. Not a trucker, but a construction worker. Not a super interesting story as much as it is feel good one. Part of my job requires me to pick up highway cones on, highway cones, the 28-inch ones, not grabbers. Sometimes it gets pretty scary out there, hanging off the side of the truck going 20 miles an hour while you have traffic passing by you at 55 on the states. When we were doing center line, the yellow lines, we have to we have a do not pass sign on our truck, which, by the way, is a legal sign that you are required to obey. We do our best to pull over when traffic starts to back up. We know we're inconveniencing, but we are just trying to get our job done as fast and as safe as possible. So our foreman isn't bitching us out, because sometimes we can be as far back as 10 to 15 miles depending on the weather from the paint truck. Well, we are doing a 2-lane highway one day, and no one is staying behind us. They keep passing around. I'm hanging off the side of the truck, seeing my death almost happen way too often. I see this oversized load come up, and while he can fit in the lane, just barely, he's in the middle of the road, and it looks like he's going to try to pass. So I start yelling at my driver to pull over ASAP, which he starts to do. The trucker starts flashing his lights and blows his horn at us with his hand waving forward. At this point, he's maybe 20, 30 feet off of our asses, yelling at me to keep going. He's got traffic control. We drove for like 12 more miles with that like truck getting over only when traffic was coming the other way. When we finally had to pull off because the road was done, there was at least 20 minutes of traffic behind him when we had a lot of people yelling at us and flipping us off. Some even threw trash at us. Wow. But I didn't care, because I knew that at least one other person on the highway cared about my safety. They did not about my safety than they did about getting someplace quickly. Man, it's, and that's what it is. Truckers have seen so much shit, man, and they just understand what's going on. That trucker was just like, no, you're not going to go around. No, like, let this guy do his fucking job. You know what I mean? Like, they've seen some shit. Because I can guarantee you there was probably a time when he saw a dude, get clipped by a car or something like that. You know what I mean? He's probably seen this happen, and he's like, oh, hell no, I'm not about to have this happen again. Or I'm not about to, you know what I mean? Like, truckers that have been out on the road a long time, they have probably seen some shit. And I guarantee you there was a time where that dude saw this exact situation and people going around, and a car probably hit him and knocked him out of the truck and stuff like that. And I'm telling you, he's probably seen some shit. So he was like, I'm gonna fucking help this guy out and make sure they get their job done safely, because I've seen some shit and I'm not about to see it again. All right, this is going to be our last one for today's thread. I was on the New Jersey Turnpike about 3 a.m. with a load of pork coming out of PA. I'm just driving along, singing along to the radio, when I start to notice a shadow way up on the high beams. I start slowing down to try and figure out what this thing is. I thought maybe it was a deer or something. No, it wasn't a deer. It was a goddamn horse. There was a horse trotting down the interstate. Okay. I mean, if I'm being honest with you, weird shit like that happens a lot, especially out where I live. We got donkeys, and I work overnight. So a lot of times when I'm getting off, it's very early in the morning. And so, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, it's still dark. And, I drive through a canyon area. And a lot of times, I'm just driving through and I'm just like, I'm on my way home, like making my way downtown, walking fast. And so then, sometimes I see something, I'm like, what the fuck is that? And then, it's just a big ass donkey just chilling in the street. And he's just like, oh, what's up? You gonna hit me? Like, do it, motherfucker. Like, those motherfuckers don't move. Donkeys don't move for nothing, bro. And I feel like donkeys are very delayed creatures, because it's not until, like, you stop in front of them, and then they're like, oh, shit. What? Where were you at? And it's like the donkey looks at you, and he's like a deer in headlights type shit. And then you stop. And then once the car stops, they're like, oh, shit. And they run off. And you're like, motherfucker, you could have been ran. Like, what are you doing? So, you know what I mean? For me, it's like that horse story is like donkeys for me. You know what I mean? I'm obviously on the other side of the United States. So it's like, I've experienced that, my guy. You know what I mean? Just the middle of the night, and you're just like, the fuck is a donkey doing in the middle of the road? Like, what the hell? And it ain't doing anything. It's just standing there. It's just standing in the middle of the road, and you're like, huh? I don't know. Maybe they sleep standing up. So that's probably what it was. He just got tired and just fell asleep in the middle of the road. I don't know. Oh my goodness. But that's going to go ahead and be that thread, man. Hope you guys enjoyed that interesting thread of truckers. What's your most interesting story? If you're a trucker out there and you listen to this right now, I know truckers listen to a lot of podcasts because that's all you got time to do. You got time like a motherfucker to just listen to shit. So if you got a crazy, wacky story and you're a fan of the show, man, definitely put it in the comments. I love to read them. And I love to see what you guys got going on. Or even if you know somebody or, you had a story involving a trucker or whatever. You guys let me know. But without further ado, I'm going to hop into the announcements real fast. And then we're going to go ahead and get into our scenarios and stuff like that for today. So, patreon.com/My The Asshole Podcast. Getting exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send in your scenarios to be featured on Tuesday, as well as the every other week Sunday episodes. Yes, we've changed Sunday. If you haven't noticed, we've changed Sunday to every other week, so your boy can get some well-deserved R&R. And also, I'm still trying to figure out my streaming schedule. I will figure that out, and I will try to get a consistent streaming schedule for you guys, and I'll probably put it on screen. I'll probably put it above, right here. That way you guys can know when I go live and stuff like that, and you guys can get in there and participate and all that good stuff. But mainly, I'm probably just streaming on Sundays, and that's about it. Maybe on Mondays, but Sunday, Monday is probably going to be the 2 days I'm going to try to do it. Maybe Friday. I don't know. I haven't nailed it down yet. I got to figure it out stuff. But, let's see. If you're an audio listener, keep downloading the podcast. Keep showing that support, man. You guys have been killing it with the, A Court of Thorns and Roses episodes, man. I've been seeing the downloads go up and up and up crazy for those episodes. So I'm glad that you guys are enjoying those episodes. I'm glad that you guys are liking those. For you YouTube people on the Thursday episodes, I do now have like a graphic that'll go on screen. So you don't just have to look at me looking at you, looking at me while we listen to the book, because I figured I was like, man, it for the YouTube people, it's kind of weird because, I'm just sitting there, you know what I mean? You guys are just watching me just kind of sit there, and we're obviously listening to the book, but I just thought it was weird. And so I was like, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a graphic up on screen so that way you guys can just listen to the audio and you know what I mean? There's nothing going on screen and stuff like that. Obviously, for you audio listeners, you guys, aren't dealing with the video side of things anyway. So that's not for you guys. But for the YouTube people, I do got something for you guys. I do have a graphic I'll put up on screen, and that'll handle that. So don't worry. I got you. Yeah, I just felt like, man, I've been doing the book reading for a while now. I've been probably doing it for close to 8 months now, somewhere around there, because I think I started back in the beginning of the year, and so about 8 months I've been doing it every week pretty much, literally for 8 months. Every week I've had an episode of a book that we've been covering, whether it was Haunting Adeline or Court of Thorns and Roses or even the book we're going to get into next. But you guys seem to love those episodes. You guys seem to have that seem to be you guys' favorite episodes out of all of them. So I do enjoy doing that. But for you people that love to be on YouTube, I want to be able to, I do upload the audio version of the podcast onto YouTube. So those Thursday episodes, if you want to just listen to the audio version, you can do that as well. So just so that way it's not weird or, I don't know. It was just a thing that I noticed. I'm like, man, I would go back and edit and stuff like that and be like, you know what? It's weird because I'm just sitting there, you know what I mean? I'm not saying anything, but obviously we're listening to the book, so it kind of makes sense. But I was like, I'm just going to create a graphic that'll just be up on screen, and then that way people can kind of just listen to the book and so on and so forth. But all right. If you want to help out even more on the Free 99 side, follow us on TikTok, Instagram, as well as YouTube. The subscribers actually have been going up on YouTube as well as Instagram and TikTok. You guys have been showing mad support on all three platforms. I really appreciate that. I really do. I have all the links in the description to everything. Everything is in there. To the playlist that we do, I have YouTube and Spotify playlists down there for Haunting Adeline, as well as A Court of Thorns and Roses. We have those. So if you're an audio listener on Spotify, I have a Spotify playlist. If you are a mainly YouTube person, I have a YouTube playlist for both books. As well as I have all the links to everything down there. Everything is all a click away. So just get down there. It should be all labeled. And get down there, man. Just, follow us on there. Check us out. All that good stuff. I do appreciate when you guys go that little extra mile and you support on other pages and stuff like that. And then also following on Instagram is good, because TikTok sometimes likes to be a little bit of a bitch and not let me upload what I want to upload, because it's like, oh, we have children on this app. And I'm like, fuck the kids, man. We adults around here, man. I don't cater the show to kids. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? We talk about real shit. We talk about sex and relationships all the time. And them kids don't need to be hearing about that. Like, go watch Mr. Beast or something. Yeah, I'm just saying. But yeah, thank you guys for all that support. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into today's scenarios. Our first one is, am I wrong for hooking up with an 18-year-old while I'm 25? I'm sorry. They're probably like, wait, what? No. He's 25, and he's asking if he's wrong for hooking up with an 18-year-old. Consenting adults. But let's get into it and let's see what's up. All right, I, 25 male, attended a musical festival a couple of weeks ago and met a girl named Amy, 18 female. We talked and danced together for a bit, and we were both a bit drunk. I didn't buy her alcohol. She said she got a 21-year-old friend to buy it for her. I don't know, man.
Stop the cap.
He was buying it for her. He was just like, yeah, girl, here you go. Another shot. You want some more? Oh, here you go. It's okay, bro. It's all right. We won't tell nobody. We won't tell the cops. I promise. And we ended up making out and exchanging numbers. We have hooked up a couple of times since then. Neither of us is really interested in a long-term relationship, just having fun together. Amy came over to my place this past Saturday and ended up spending the night. It just so happened that me and my sister, Rachel, 22 female, were supposed to go shopping this Sunday together for a birthday gift for our mom. She doesn't have a car, so she took an Uber to my place where I would drive us both to the store. When she arrived at my place, Amy and I were having breakfast, which I invited my sister to join. It was as awkward as you can expect it after Amy left and we went to the store, but Rachel was silent, only speaking to me briefly when I spoke to her first. I didn't say anything at first, but it became more noticeable as the day went on. After we were done shopping, I was driving home and asked her why she was acting so weird. She responded by saying she thought I was weird and gross that I was sleeping with someone so young. This led to a bit of an argument between us, and we have not spoken since. I don't really feel like I did anything wrong. Everything between me and Amy has been consensual. So am I wrong? No, fuck no. You're consensual adults. Like, a lot of people, I guess, forget that 18-year-old, that's an adult. Whether you like it or not, it's an adult. She can make her own decisions. I don't give a fuck if her frontal lobe is not developed or she can't. No, she's an adult who can make decisions for herself. If Amy doesn't want to sleep with this 25-year-old dude, she can say no and ghost homeboy and not talk to him. But no, she makes the choice to still see homeboy, knowing that he's older and he's 25 and, that he wants to get up in them sweet 18 walls. Like, come on, bruh. They're consenting adults. Now, homegirl was like 17 or whatever. Okay, I'd be like, bro, you playing with the devil's edge right there, if I'm being real with you. And I would kind of agree with his sister. And I'd be like, that's kind of gross. What are you doing? You know what I mean? Because she's not considered an adult. Sure, 17 and 18, yeah, that's one age away, but she's not considered an adult. She is considered a child at 17. But at 18, you are considered an adult. You can make adult decisions. You can vote. You know what I mean? Like, let's be real here. You can, it's like, come on now. I don't give a fuck about the whole frontal lobe bullshit and, oh, she still has the mind of a child and all. No, she can make her own decisions. And if she decides that she wants to sleep with this dude, then that's what she's going to do. Who are you to say what she can and can't do? Like, she's an adult. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know where people get this weird ass thing where they're like, they're so young, they don't know anything, and blah blah blah. Like, I don't give a fuck. That's a consenting adult. You know, it's like, bro, that's a consenting adult. I don't care what rational reason you have for it. That's a consenting adult, whether you like it or not. The country of the United States of America says that is an adult. You know what I mean? Like, be mad if you want, but sorry, that's the way the world works. You know what I mean? This is ridiculous to me. Like, nah, man. All right, on to our next one. You can yell at me in the comments about that one, but on to the next one. Am I overreacting? I think my boyfriend is cheating on me. Uh-oh. So lately my boyfriend has been distant and weird with his phone. The other day we were out at dinner and he kept getting texts and would low-key respond back, but made it very obvious he didn't want me to know who it was or who it was about. I felt like, why are we even at dinner if he's on his phone and not at all into it? But I never said anything. Also, side note, when we go out to dinner, he will pretend to pay and Venmo request me later. He says I'm still saving money because I don't have to pay tip. Anyway, I was invited to road trip to the beach with his friends. Same thing. I pay for his lunch when we get out there. And after the beach, he pretends to pay for my dinner around his friends and then Venmo requests me when we get to the car. I spend the night at his place, and the next morning while laying with him in bed, I asked to see the pictures we took of the beach. Some of them I looked super bad in, so I deleted them off his phone. But for some reason, I had a gut feeling to go to recently deleted to delete the photos from there too. While laying there with him, I did. And in his recently deleted were nudes sent to him from some girl. I confronted him immediately and he took his phone. He said he didn't know those were in his phone from years ago and just saw them when scrolling through pictures. So he deleted them because he was dating me and knew he shouldn't have them. But, and I'm sure she knew this, in your deleted folder on your phone, for at least iPhone anyway, I think this is on Android too, they're only there for 30 days, my guy, and then they get deleted forever. So these were at least a month old nudes. Like, come on, bro. Come on, man. You know, and I'm sure she knew that. You know what I mean? I'm sure you the listener and viewer caught on to that too. Like, wait a minute. Your deleted folder only holds deleted photos for 30 days. Like, that's just shish, you know? I went to my car. He then followed me out with the same storyline. When I got to my car, I said, if that's the case, then let me see the photos and see the date on them. He said he deleted them from recently deleted already, so it was impossible. He said I should just believe him. About a week later, we met up to talk about it. He convinced me of that story and said it hurts him. I would think that he would cheat. But I found it really weird that when I was finally convinced, he slyly asked if I egged his car out of anger. I said, what? I was confused. Then he said, never mind, and completely changed the subject. I never egged his car. Was that the other girl? Yo! He was like, did you egg my car out of... He told on himself. He told on himself. Because I guarantee you it was a thing where this other girl that he was talking to, since he got caught, mind you, he got caught. So since he got caught, he was like, fuck, I can't talk to this girl anymore. And homegirl is just like, what? Why can't you talk to me anymore? Blah, 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 blah. And then other girl probably didn't know that he had a girlfriend. And she was just like, wow, you were talking to me the whole time and I sent you some nudes and you had a girlfriend the whole time? Oh, fuck you. She went to the store, bought some organic eggs and was just like, here you go, you old non-GMO ass bitch, and egged his fucking car and was just like... And then he told on himself and was just like, did you egg my car? And now homegirl's like, wait a minute. She put the puzzle pieces together and was just like, oh, damn. Yeah, that nigga was cheating on you. That motherfucker was cheating on you. He was cheating. Huh, he was cheating. I think he told on himself. Because I guarantee you, when you found out about the nudes, that's when he broke it off with old girl. Old girl got mad and found out about you and was just like, "Oh, so you were talking to me? I sent you some nudes and you had a girlfriend the whole time? Wow. Okay. I'm gonna get you back. I got something for you, motherfucker." She went to the store. And like I said, she bought her some organic eggs and was like, "You old non-GMO ass motherfucker," and egged the shit out of his car out of anger. Was just pure mad. And I can understand. It was like you was playing both of them, and obviously, he ain't gonna leave. That's the love of his life. What are you talking about? He ain't gonna leave her for you. You thought you had a starting spot? Come on, man, girl, what you talking about? You was never the star player. You were always the bench. Hey, what are we talking about? You were always on the bench. This is the love of my life we're talking about. Like, what? You were always on the bench. You were never going to be the starter. And I think that's what made her so mad, because she realized, like, oh, I was never going to be on the starting team. I was never going to be the starting quarterback. Like this girl was always going to be the starting quarterback. He made me believe I was the starting quarterback. That's why she got so mad. She egged that motherfucker's car. But no, I don't think you're overreacting, and I do think your man was cheating on you. I just don't think that he wanted a relationship out of this girl. He just wanted this girl to believe that there was going to be a relationship so he can get him a little poontang on the side and have you as the main. That's really what it was. Let's be honest, because that's exactly the way this happened. But you let me know what you think. Yeah, am I wrong? Am I right? Maybe give me another point of view. You know what I mean? What you think? Like, oh no, maybe it happened like this. Maybe it was this. Oh, I've been through this, and it was, this is how it happened for me. Let me know in the comments. My dad's over telling my husband he can't just not go to work. What? Okay. All right. Let's see what's up. All right, so backstory. We've been together for 14 years, married for 11. I have bipolar disorder and have been struggling for the last 4 years, including an inpatient stay at a facility in 2021. I got my first job at 16 and until 2019 worked full-time. From 2020 to 2022. I went part-time and now I am full-time housewife. I handle the money and do all of the things you do to keep the household running, as well as watch our friends' dogs for money. And I'm the backup sitter for my niece. We don't have kids. Dang, you guys don't have kids? Damn. Like, she's 37 and he's 42 and they don't got kids? That's surprising. He's a carpenter, loves what he does, and is damn good at his job. In 2018, 2019, he moved to a new company where he was a building supervisor, so no more hard labor. Plus, he got health insurance, PTO, 401k, and was salary. After a few years, the way the company was running just made him unhappy, so got another job, which he started end of last year. While he is making substantially more money and he's back to being happy, he returned to no benefits, no PTO, hourly hard labor work, so no work equals no pay. Damn. We had to get insurance through the ACA, and that's expensive and sucks. Last month, we had a conversation about how our mortgage went up over $200 a month because of raised taxes, and the insurance went up because he updated his yearly annual earnings based on what he brought home the first half of the year. We scheduled back-to-back OOT 3-day weekends the beginning of August, so he knew that there would be 2 days where he didn't get paid, but that's fine. It was planned. What wasn't planned was the add I2 Mondays. Or what was planned? Okay, it was 2 Mondays he took off because he was tired, and the half day on the Thursday before the long weekend. So check coming Friday is going to be basically a week short of pay. I already had to dip into the savings last paycheck to cover all of the bills, and it didn't have a ton of money in it to begin with. I was on my phone earlier tonight moving my prescriptions to a mail order pharmacy, and he saw me pull my card out to add the payment method for scripts. So he asked, "What are you buying now?" I said, actually, I haven't spent any money since the last payday because I know the check was going to be was going to be scary short." And that tumbled into me telling him that he doesn't have the luxury of just taking off because he feels like it, since he chose a job that gives him literally nothing but a paycheck. I didn't mean to just say that out of the blue. I'd been holding in my frustration for weeks now, and my mouth started moving before my brain could realize what was happening. Of course, then he got quiet. I could tell that he was mad, so I asked if he was mad, and he said yes, and then said, "This is going to be mean, but it's not like you're helping me at all." Ooh, because I don't have a job. So am I the asshole? Am I wrong in my thinking? I just think it was dumb that you gave up an amazing job and a position because you were unhappy. Like, you were salary, you had PTO, you had 401k, you had all this stuff, and you sat there and was just like, "Oh, I'm unhappy with this job, so I'm going to leave it." And it's like, bro, it's not just you. I get it. They don't have kids, and so that's what probably made the decision of like him leaving just because he was unhappy a little easier. But at the same time, it's like, you are married and you do have a household to take care of. Your wife's not working. So then, yes, it's like you kind of got to suck it up and deal with this job and you should have weighed the pros and cons of like, okay, I have salary, 401k, PTO, and all the, health coverage, all this stuff. Over here, it's just a paycheck. I'm happier over here, but it's just a paycheck. You know what I mean? But over here, I can live more comfortable. I think it's more worth it to work somewhere that you hate because it's paying your bills and it allows you to live comfortably than to go work somewhere where you're happy but you're not benefiting your personal life. I don't feel like that, because like me, trust me, I don't like my job. I fucking hate my job. That job fucking sucks. It sucks donkey nuts. I can't stand that job, but I go every day. Why? Because it pays my bills. You know what I mean? It takes care of me. It gives me a retirement. It gives me benefits. It gives me the ability, it gives me good money to be able to put a roof over my head and, do something on the side, like with this podcast and stuff like that. It's like, bro, you got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean? Like, if I was married, I would look at it like, holy shit, I really need to keep this job. I need to make more money. I need to do this, especially if my girl ain't working. Especially if she's not working. And don't get me wrong, she's got her little side hustles. It's not like she got no money. She's babysitting and she's taking care of the dogs and, like she's doing her part, and if you wanted her to get a job, you shouldn't have sat there and be like, "Well, it's not like you're helping me." Like, bro, if you wanted her to get a job, you should have said that, because I don't think that she would not work. I think she just looked at it like, man, we're in a good financial position. And then once you got that job with your salary, 401k and benefits and all that kind of stuff, she really looked at it like, whoa, we're really good now. Like, I really don't got to get a job. That's great. But once you went back to the hard labor job, I'm thinking she looked at it like, shit, man, I might have to get a job. I might have to do something, but he hasn't really told me that yet. So I'm just going to kind of keep doing what I'm doing until he needs the help, because I feel like your girl is not going to, really help or pitch in until you really ask her. And I think that's the thing where it was like, dude, if you were feeling overwhelmed and you were feeling tired and you needed a break and all that kind of stuff, you should have just asked her, hey, can you get a job? Like, you know what I mean? I'm not getting paid that much. This job is working me ragged because it's hard labor, this and that. I need to be able to take some time off. So, can you pick a little something up? And you know what I mean? She could work a little 24 hours a week. Like, that's nothing. That's nothing. That's a couple 4-hour days, a couple 8-hour days here and there. And that's that. Like, she could literally go work at a grocery store. You know what I mean? Yeah, she should be bagging groceries for 24 hours a week. You know, like that's nothing. Yeah. I mean, sure, you'd probably have to pick up a little bit at the house, you know, but I mean, it's like it's something. She's bringing some kind of income in there, and you know, and I don't think it would be a thing where if you asked her, hey, you know, I need some help, blah blah blah, that she would say no and be like, no, I don't want to do that, blah blah blah. No, it seems like she's willing to because she's doing little side hustles. So it's not like she's not willing to work. I just think she looks at it like my man's got it. You know, he's doing his thing. I don't know. I just look at it like, dude, you should have stayed with the other job that had the health insurance, PTO, the 401k, the salary. You should have stayed with that regardless if you were unhappy, just because you have someone else that you are looking after because they don't have a job. They're depending all on you. And sure, she's got her little side hustles and stuff like that here and there, but for the majority, she is depending on you, that you're bringing home the money. That way you guys keep the roof over your head, and then with shit going up, you know, that's another reason why to stay, you know what I mean, where you're at, especially if you got a good position. It's like, stay where you're at. But like I said, that's my 2 pennies. Maybe it's a little easier said than done, but I don't know. I'm in a position where, hey, I don't like my job, but I go there and I do it. You know, I do it. I get it done. It keeps a roof over my head, and it allows me to do the things I want to do on my own time, you know. So, hey, you can't, you know, stop your nose at something good. You just can't. That's all I got to say. So, all right, let's get on to our next one. Let's see. All right, this is going to be our last one for today's Tuesday episode. If you got this far in the episode, thank you so much. Love you. Appreciate you. You know, give you a little kiss. You know, love you. All right, let's get on to our last one. Am I the asshole for agreeing to an open relationship, then sleeping with someone else? All right, let's see what's up. So my girlfriend, 24 female, and I, 23 male, have been going through a very rough time lately, and it all boiled over in the past few days. We have been together for 3 years. Things were going well for the most part. We get along and would rarely fight. Even when we did, we would often both cool down and talk it out not long after. However, about 2 weeks ago, my girlfriend approached me and asked if I wanted to open our relationship. So she asked. Wow. She was like, let's open our relationship. I was immediately shocked, and I said, and I almost thought she was joking at first. She said that she really loves me and wants me to she wants to be with me, but before we get more serious, she wants to get more experience.
Stop the cap.
AKA, she probably got a guy lined up, and she's just like, I want to fuck this dude without losing my man. Oh. No,
she belongs to the streets.
I don't know about all that. I don't know if she really love you, but she was my first everything, and she has been with 2 other guys. I shot down the idea and told her I wasn't comfortable with it. She kept badgering me about it, but eventually relented when she realized I wasn't budging, and that seemed like the end of it. However, a few days later, she came to me again and asked me more aggressively about it and was insinuating that we might have to take a break if we can't just try opening the relationship for a few months. Oh, brother. Yeah, bro.
She belongs to the streets.
And she got a guy lined up. She's probably been trying to fuck this dude for a while, and she just doesn't want to like hurt you, or she doesn't want to lose you, but she wants to be with this dude. And she want to fuck him. Oh, that's why she's being so aggressive about it. Come on, man. And you don't even know. You don't even know that this dude is lined up ready. She's probably telling this guy, yo, look, once I get the okay to like open our relationship or whatever, I get a little leeway from him, you know, you're going to tear this up. Like, shit. If she's being that aggressive about it, yeah, bro, she's got a guy lined up. All right. Okay, so she was insinuating that we might have to take a break if we can't just try opening the relationship for a few months, considering it was basically we take a break or I give her this. I relented and said we could open up the relationship. 2 days later, last Friday, I got home from work and saw she was dressed up and asked And I asked what for. She said that she was going out to the bar with her friends and she wouldn't be back until tomorrow. She ain't going to no
Stop
bar. Ah, she fucking the guy that she want to fuck and she going to stay over at his house. Oh, I immediately recognized what this meant and asked if she would rather spend the night with me. But she said she really wanted to do this. Yeah, she'd been dying to do this. Eventually, she left, and I was left sitting alone watching TV, getting drunk. I got sad, so I called one of my close friends, 23 female, and was telling her about the situation. After we talked for a while, I asked her if she wanted to come over and drink because I was feeling like shit being alone. After she got there and we hung out for a bit, drinking and discussing the open relationship and how upset I was, my friend suggested that if my girlfriend was essentially cheating on me, I might as well enjoy the perks of an open relationship too. I'm sure you could see what happened there, and I won't get into details, but it made me feel a lot better. Hey, yo! She saw her opportunity and took it. She was like, oh, about time. She was salivating. She was like, yeah? Oh, open relationship? Oh, my God. I've been dying to fuck you. I mean, waiting for my opportunity. I mean, this is crazy. She'd probably had a thing for you for a while. And she was like, cha-ching, this is my opportunity. She was like that meme with that black dude behind the tree and was just like, oh, now is my cue to get that wiener. Oh, man. She was waiting. I ain't gonna lie. Flash forward to the next morning and I wake up to my girlfriend freaking out, asking me what the hell my friend and I were doing in our bed. I told her what happened and she got mad. Really? Okay. All right, yeah, you got mad, huh? I told her what happened and she got mad. She told me that she didn't even do anything last night.
Stop the cap.
And ended up crashing at her friend's house. Come on, bro. Come on. You told on yourself. You practically, in that sentence, insinuated that you lied about where you were going to be. You was actually going to be at homeboy's house getting your walls railed, and you were going to stay at his house and then come back in the morning. But what you did was you spent the night at your friend's house. Like, practically fucking told on yourself. But because you didn't go through with it, because you were probably starting to feel guilty, so you didn't go through with it. And since you already told your mans that you wasn't going to be back until the morning, you went ahead and called up a friend and was just like, hey, can I stay at your crib? Me and my mans, whatever. Like, I said I wasn't going to be home until the morning, so, you know what I mean? And she was probably like, oh, that's cool, whatever. And she was probably thinking, oh, I'm going to get home and he's going to be, at home by himself. And I'm going to call off I guarantee you, when she was on her way home that morning, she was like, man, fuck this open relationship shit. I'm going to close it back up. Like, I want to be with him. I love him. Because I guarantee you she got to a point with that guy and she backed out. She was like, I really don't want to do this. She was all, she was talk. She was just like, yeah, once I get some leeway in this relationship, yeah, you and me, we about to do this. And I guarantee it was a thing where she was making out with dude or whatever. He was about to touch on her coochie and whatnot. And she was just like, oh, this doesn't feel right. This don't feel like what I thought it was going to be. You know what I mean? And she probably backed out of it. And she thought she was going to go home, close her relationship. Homeboy was going to be there and be like, oh my God, I love you even more now. And blah, blah, blah. Nah, nigga took advantage of that shit and got him some booty. Flash forward to the next morning, I wake up to my girlfriend freaking out, asking me what the hell my friend and I are doing in our bed. I told her what happened and she got mad. She told me that she didn't even do anything last night and ended up crashing at her friend's house. Okay, so she now wants to close our relationship, back off, and make me prove my loyalty for cheating on her. Man, if you don't get your fucking grimy ass out of here. We never discussed any rules or anything like that, so I really don't see how I did anything wrong. Am I the asshole? No. You wanted this open relationship so bad, but then when I act on that open relationship like you were going to. Let's be real here. I don't believe any of the bullshit that she said. None of it. I feel like she had a guy lined up. She wanted to fuck him without losing her relationship. She went over. She lied about where she was going and said that she wasn't going to be back until the morning. She was making out with homeboy and being felt up on by him. And then she realized, you know what? I don't want to do this. She stayed over at her friend's house. On her way home, she was like, I'm going to close this relationship, because I really love him and I actually want to be with him. I didn't even really want to do this. I was all talk and bullshit. Once it came down to actually doing something with this dude, it just didn't feel right for her. And so then she was just like, no, I'm going to do this. And, that's ridiculous. And then she gets mad because he enacted on what she wanted. Nah. You should have seen this as a possibility. But see, she sat there and she probably thought, my dude, he's so obsessed with me. He's not going to sleep with another girl. Oh, he's not going to. Come on, bro. Come on. I would dump her. I'd be like, prove to me that no, fuck off. Get out. We're done, dude. We're done. Because you wanted this open relationship so bad. And then when I enact on this open relationship, I'm the bad guy? You wanted this. I agreed. Stupidly. I agreed to this shit. But since you were so adamantly about it, because for me, if my girl ever came to me and was like, I want an open relationship, I'd be like, well, you can see yourself to that open door and get the fuck out. I would never agree to an open relationship. It's either you get me or nothing. You could turn around and get out that door. That's what you can do. Hey, you can go be open on the outside. Them streets is cold. Hey, cold, baby. You gonna miss the warmth over here. Like, I wouldn't have agreed to that at all. And like I said, how aggressively she was being with it. Yeah, she had a motherfucker lined up and ready to go. Either that, or she actually fucked him, and then she actually fucked that other dude and was just like, all right, cool, got it out of my system. Like, I'm going to go ahead and close it up now. You never know. I don't know. You let me know what you think in the comments. Was she lying the whole time? Was she telling the truth? Do you think he was cheating? Did he actually cheat? Should he stay with her and prove that, his loyalty to her? Was he wrong for sleeping with the best friend? Do you think the best friend, did she have some ulterior motives? Because I think she did. I think the best friend, or not best friend, but the female friend, I think she was waiting. She was laying in the waiting to get that dick, and she was like, about time they broke up or they opened the relationship, or, she got her opportunity, because I guarantee you she was waiting. She was waiting. But I don't know. Again, you let me know what you thought about everything that happened in today's show. Yell at me if you want. Yeah. Let me know what you thought about today's show. Love you guys all. I will see you on Thursday for another Court of Thorns and Roses episode. Again, for all you YouTube people, you guys won't just see me sitting here and listening to the book. I got a nice little graphic for you guys, and that way, you guys can just listen to the book with us audio people and stuff like that. But without further ado, love you guys all. See you Thursday. Peace.